Global players, this is the video for you this morning from Dokkan over on Twitter. The Ultimate Red Zone Movie Edition data thread has been dropped. I will leave the link in the description down below. I'm pretty sure underneath all of this information, which we're going to quickly gloss over, yeah, he has also credited everyone. So I will leave the link in the description down below for him. And then not only that, as he literally says here, with the 7th anniversary coming soon for Global, we hope that this will help players to get ready for Red Zone stages. GT versions will be available next week, and a mega thread of all enemies will be posted later. So Global, we have, I was going to say a cheat sheet, not really a cheat sheet, because we've basically got the details, we've got the answers, but nothing's going to prepare you still for even going in there. You can still get absolutely battered, but we basically have sticky notes. This is like an exam you go into with literally having all the information in front of you. It's just down to you to put it all together. So global players, this is definitely the video for you. If this is helpful, and also don't forget to drop a like on the video anyway and subscribe if you're new, but make sure you do that if this is helpful. But yeah, this is the Ultimate Red Zone Movie Edition data thread. I know next to nothing about Red Zone apart from the very common fact of it's the hardest event in the game and it's the hardest hitting event in the game, and it does a lot of damage. So this is all going to be new to me as well. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to react to this. And yeah, I guess in the comments, just let me know what you think. So stage 1 is against Turles. Okay, so this is literally everything. So we got HP of it, like the enemy, attack, defense, SA damage, SA chance, number of attacks, and damage reduction. And then if you conceal, stun, debuff, etc, etc. So attack, for those of you who don't know, that will be how much damage they can do on normal attacks. Obviously, depending on if a unit has guard, damage reduction, stacking defense, those type of things, obviously you're not going to be taking 100k from literally the first enemy in the game. So, or first enemy in the run. So yeah, the attacks should be basic attacks. But let's run through this. So I mean, even immediately on literally the very first stage against the very first enemy, against one of the testicle dudes, you can literally get hit for 250k on a super. That's literally the first fight. You can literally be hit for 250k on a super. That's still quite a lot when you consider like team's health right now on global, with the 200% leads coming in like prematurely. You're still looking at like just shy of 600k health to like 650k health by the time we get the year 7 LRs, maybe just a little bit more. But literally on the very first fight, you can take 250k damage on a super. That's crazy. So if a unit, obviously that's the first enemy, and that's also could happen on the first turn, which means you can literally take 250k damage straight away before you've even started stacking. Before you've even started stacking with some units. That's crazy. 17% chance for an S super attack in a turn. He'll attack once. Next one, less health, less attack, less defense, less SA damage. So it's like the second fight against the second testicle dude. Is this meant to be like just like is this meant to be like a slight break? You know, it's taking a little bit less damage overall. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember these guys' names. 167k on a super attack. Then we've got 262. I mean, for the majority of it, you know, for the most part, they're doing very similar regions of damage. You know, on SA, normal attacks. The damage reduction's the same. These fights don't seem too bad, but I can see early on potentially where you get caught out while you're trying to build up some units, like stacking them up. Then we have against the full Turles and Turles kind of squad. 195k on a basic, almost 200k on a basic attack. That's crazy. That is crazy. 487,500 on super attack. That means if the wrong unit gets hit that doesn't have the damage reduction, that doesn't have the guard, or doesn't stack defense, that means you're taking almost 500k on a super. That's crazy. That's pretty much one super attack and you're almost dead. I mean, to be fair, we're kind of used to that ish with the GT Goku event. I know it only got harder from here. SA chance 14%, number of attacks 9. I mean, it is the full squad. That's probably where the difficulty comes in. I mean, not only are you taking hefty amounts of damage on SA, even on basic, but there's 9 attacks, but less SA chance. I mean, that obviously makes sense. 10% chance to do 1 attacks less. Damage reduction is 58%, no dodge. Can't seal, can't stun the squad, but you can debuff them. That's pretty good. You can, you know, there's no symbols here, which means you can actually seal stun all of the little kind of like Turles squad. You can seal stun them, you can dodge. You can dodge against these guys, you just can't seal and stun them, and you can debuff them. That's helpful. That's helpful. I'm not glad, considering how many attacks you could take, maybe if you could actually stun them, that would be quite nice. And then of course against Turles, you literally can't seal, stun, or debuff them whatsoever. That's also where another majority of the difficulty must come from, is the fact you cannot stun the hardest part of the event. Well, not stun, not even just stun and seal, because we're used to that with GT Goku event, but you can't debuff them. You can't debuff them. Which of course we're also again kind of used to with Vegeta event and GT Goku event, but you know, from what I've heard from Red Zone and the brief kind of things I've seen, Red Zone is basically GT Goku event on drugs. Like, this is the crackhead version. So the fact you can't debuff them is kind of massive. But you can evade Turles. You can evade Turles, so that is very handy. Not to mention as well, if you pull the LRSJ4s, they do have type advantage here. And along with the easy ace for the SSJ4s and how well they all work together, Turles maybe wouldn't be that bad, but still 658k damage on a super, depending on who you have on the team or what team you're using, you could generally be one-shotted by this man. Don't forget, you can only take 1 item as well, global players. You can only take 1 item into Red Zone, so that's crazy. 100% chance to stun for 2 turns. He literally, so if he has a 100% chance to stun a unit, damn, that means if you get super attacked in the wrong spot, your damage for that turn could be, imagine they stun the LRSJ4s. That'd be huge. SA chance 16%, max 1 per turn. Okay, that's nice. You only get super attacked once by all of these, even though you're taking 658k on a super. Just over 200k on a basic. 13% chance to do 1 attacks less, 60% damage reduction. Yeah, LRSJ4s would be crucial here. And we've got Slug. Slug only has like three minions, three lackeys. 134k on a basic, 140k on a basic. Okay, I mean, obviously that kind of makes up for the fact Turles has way more like Turles squad members. So obviously they'll be doing a lot less damage, where there's less, you know, build up towards Slug, so they're doing more damage, but still taking over 300k damage on a super before you've even made it to the big bad boss. That's crazy. That's like half your health on somebody's 200% leads, even a bit more. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. Number of attacks 3. The bottom one has 2. Damage reduction all 58%. Does Slug have more damage reduction than Turles? 63% than 65. What does Turles have? 58 and 60. So that takes a bit of a jump. Okay, that's cooler. We don't call it yet. We don't want cooler yet. That takes a bit of a jump. 270k on a basic when Slug transforms. So again, with all the little lackeys, you can seal, stun, debuff, dodge. Against Slug, you can't seal, you can't stun. You can't debuff his attack, but you can debuff his defense. Okay, that's handy. That's very handy. Lowering his defense is very handy. It won't do a hell of a lot. You know, your main priority in this event is survive, so you can keep doing the damage and chipping away. But, you know, the fact you can lower defense can actually be quite nice. They'd have all different typings. There's no tech stage. Which means maybe, I don't know how much this would actually work, again, because this is the first time I'm seeing this type of information, and I haven't even, you know, we haven't got Red Zone on Global yet. Maybe if the team's stacked enough, you could primarily pack them out with AGL units to have type advantage against Slug when he's transformed. I mean, I kind of understand the fact you can debuff him defensively, considering he does have the part where he restores HP. So that definitely does make sense. But maybe you could get away with this one by packing out your team with AGL units. I don't know if mono teams would work here. I mean, maybe if the units are good enough. Still 562k on a super, 756k. Damn. So not only is this man going to be healing himself, which heals 13% HP starting from 85.1% HP or less, I'm guessing, and then 14% HP. So only 1% extra on HP, but the healing can probably be quite annoying if you're not careful. But that means Slug, this is literally stage 2. That means when Slug transforms, depending on who gets a super, obviously again, if a unit has damage reduction, you know, has been stacking the whole time, you know, things like that, probably won't happen. But if the wrong unit gets hit, you could generally be one-shotted if you do not have an item active. So let's give you a circumstance. Let's say if little Jimmy, right, took a full AGL team, was like, I'm gonna use a mono AGL team, or just pack my team out of AGL units to make sure I have the best possible chance against the final stage against Slug transformed, right? Okay, he's gone in, he's taken UI Goku, because you can still dodge this guy. Watch it, he's dodged all the basic attacks. Jimmy's ecstatic, he's excited. Yeah, you know, he's dodged all them attacks. He's super attacked Slug, you know, he's even got UI Goku rainbowed, he's got the additional, he's got the crit. He's additional again, he's got the crit. Jimmy's almost done it. Slug super attacks him afterwards, UI Goku doesn't dodge. Do you know how much UI Goku, if he didn't dodge there, considering he has no damage reduction or anything like that, maybe because of the type advantage, will just manage to survive? If you're not careful, 756k damage on a super. Oh my god. That's stage 2. Don't forget, global players, don't forget. The way Red Zone's kind of panned out, the way it's spaced out is all of these. So these minions, these lackeys, and then Slug is one stage. You come out, you go back into another stage. So that's where the similar longer event style was similar to GT Goku event, and Vegeta event. Now we've got Cooler in the Cooler squad. I'm still almost 400k on super attack damage from Salza and etc. I only remember Salza's name. I never remember these two. You've got Hulk and, I don't know, Heinz. We're going to call him Heinz because I don't know why he just reminds me of Tomorrow Catch Up. Yeah, I can't remember these names. These two names. But still almost 400k on a super attack from all three of them. Again, bearing in mind for context, that's almost 400k on a super attack. Some teams have just over 500k health, and a lot of the 200% category leads, especially with the new LRs for the anniversary, have like over 600k, maybe just almost 700k. I know you're not getting one-shotted, but that's like half your health gone in the very first phase, in the very first fight, when you're just starting out to start to get units like stacking, you're starting to get units going, things like that. That's crazy. 10% chance to do one attack less, damage reduction 6. So immediately we're starting with 60% damage reduction for these three. Again, there's less enemies than Turles. I mean, I can imagine the majority of them has less enemies than Turles. But 60% damage reduction from the bat. Literally straight off the bat. Now, I would have said immediately packing your team out with strength units may be the way, but there is an AGL stage. Because then Cooler, the final form Cooler is a Fizz, and so is Salza. That's not even an option. I mean, maybe if you get lucky. Still, 60% damage reduction, 7% dodge chance on all these. So all of these can dodge. I think this is what this means. All of these units can dodge. Damn, that's kind of unlucky. So a Cooler is where things really start to ramp up. You can't stun, you can't seal, you can't debuff him in any way. But Cooler can dodge as well, and Cooler has a countdown to when he will KO you. You know the typical things you see in Dokkan events where it's like 3 turns and then once they super attack, that's it, you get KO'd. That's crazy. That means, I'm pretty sure this symbol means they will dodge. If it was an X, that means you can't dodge. So you can dodge here, which means you'd have to be very lucky for you to dodge this. But units that have the nullify, like the androids, will actually be crucial if you were to get this far where this is a problem and you're going to be KO'd, because they could nullify it. So if you have androids, that is a major plus for you when facing Cooler, having the KO super. Look at that, 245k on a basic, 612k damage on a super attack. Damn. Final form Cooler really ramps up. I mean, you can't debuff like either of the phases for Cooler. But not only does Cooler have a KO phase, he will 350k you on a basic if you're not careful. And he will almost hit you for 1,000,000 on a super attack. That means any unit that does not have some form of damage reduction, guard, anything like that. And that means if your unit hasn't stacked enough by then, you could be hit with some serious damage. Again, when you think about how much health all teams have, even with 200% category leads, that's almost 1,000,000 on a super. That means for the majority of the units in the game, apart from the top elite, you are getting almost one-shotted, if not one-shotted. That is crazy. I'm not ready, man. I'm not ready for this. What's Android 13 saying? So there's only 2. I mean, clearly there's only 2. Almost 200k on basic attacks, 400k and over 400k on super attacks. Literally, you're losing over half health if you get super attacks. And this is from early phases, which means your units that stack and need to get, like, you know, need to build themselves up. That means immediately you're getting hit by 400k supers. So these guys will debuff you. You can't seal them, but you can stun them. That's good. Having seal over stun isn't as valuable, but the fact you can seal them would be... stun them, sorry, is huge. Because that way you can kind of like Ghost Usher for a turn if you manage to get the stun off. But these guys can debuff you. So not only are you getting hit by 400k on supers like at the beginning, but they will debuff you. Lowers attack and defense by 20% 3 turns. The fact that they can debuff you is kind of devilish. I'm not going to lie. That is devilish. 62% damage reduction. 13 has 64% to 68% damage reduction. 742k on a super attack from 13 once he transforms 900k. This is less than Cooler. However, that is less than Cooler, but you cannot do anything to 13. You can't seal, you can't stun, you can't debuff, you can't dodge. I mean, global players, we've been used to that for a while now because of like GT Goku event and, you know, Vegeta event with the can't dodge. That's probably why 13 does a little bit less damage on overall compared to Cooler, is because you cannot do anything to this guy. You cannot debuff this man, you cannot dodge this man. You have to take it. You have to make sure your units are able to take it. To be fair though, the stages are Fizz, Strength and AGL, which means mono tech teams or teams where you can pack out loads of tech units, possible. You know, you have the LR Gods coming up for year 7. The God Goku gets an easy A, who's literally just an absolute counter to Red Zone because he's effective against Pure Saiyans and movie bosses. So for movie bosses, he's going to be key, which means he's going to literally walk all over 13, also having type advantage. So maybe you take primarily tech units against 13. That seems like potentially the way forward for that. But yeah, you cannot do nothing to this man. Stage 5 against Bojack. I've heard rumblings about Bojack. I've heard he's a bit of a menace. And I've seen one thing immediately. So you've got 4 lackeys you've got to take on. You can't stun none of them, which is... Dokkan, that's bullying at that point. You can't stun any of the minions. You can't stun the lackeys. That's not possible. And they're all doing... Well, he's doing almost 500k, but Zangya, Bido and everything, they're doing 500k plus on super attacks. That's before you've even made it anywhere near Bojack. That's crazy. That is crazy. What's Bojack saying? 854k on a super. Can't debuff him, can't seal, no dodge. Well, you can, wait, no, you can dodge, right? No, you can dodge. Yeah, you can dodge Bojack, which is good. Oh, I've just seen you absolutely devilish bastard. I've seen that you can't stun, you can't seal, you can't debuff. You can dodge him. That's generous, Dokkan. But he will seal you and he will lock you. And this is 100% guaranteed. So if he super attacks, whatever unit he super attacks will be sealed. They will be sealed, guaranteed. That's menacing. Trying to plan your rotation or your turn around that is menacing, considering you need to survive. Considering he's doing 975k on a super attack, that is menacing. Not to mention as well, he has one of the most annoying effects any enemy in any hard event can have, and that is locking your units. That means one wrong move, or not even from you, but one wrong move for you, and Dokkan locks the wrong unit. Your run can be done like that, because not only is he going to hit you for almost a mil on a super attack, but he's also potentially locked the wrong unit. I don't know how many units he will lock. I don't know if it's guaranteed one or, you know, all of them or whatever, or two. But the wrong unit gets locked, that's it. Your run's done. You're taking so much damage. Wow. Bojack is an absolute fuckery already. I haven't even seen anything against Bojack. I haven't played Red Zone. Bojack immediately is a fuckery. Almost a mil damage on super, and he will 100% seal a unit and lock your units. Nah, Bojack's a fuckery. Already, I don't like Bojack. Bojack's the worst. So we have Janemba, of course, no lackeys, no minions, which means immediately he's doing crazy damage. I see that at the end, over a mil. That means Janemba could probably one-shot the majority of every unit in the game. That's crazy. So what are we saying for normal Janemba? 630, that's literally like the majority of most teams' HP almost. And that's going to be literally as soon as you start fighting him. 64% damage reduction. Janemba, I mean, you can't debuff him. Literally, he's not like minions. He's literally like the main boss, but he has like multiple forms. Can't debuff him, can't seal, can't stun. You can dodge him though. You can't seal, can't stun, can't debuff Janemba. You can still dodge him. He will also dodge you though. He has a 10% dodge chance. Makes sense. Does this mean Janemba orb changes? Does he orb change? Or something like that. I mean, I can only think that's what that means. 868k on a super? That means you probably, I mean, no you don't, because you still take 600k. I mean, it's better than this, but you still take almost all your health on a super from this guy. I mean, there is a 17% chance to there's more chance for him to super attack here than here. So that means trying to build up early against this guy, even though he does less damage than Super Janemba, I mean, is risky because he has more of a chance to super attack you. Oh god, the counterbalance here is mad. I mean, I haven't heard any talk about how difficult or easy the Janemba stage is, but looking at this might seem very difficult. At least you can dodge him, I guess, but he'll also dodge you, and he has a 10% chance to do so, which isn't a lot, but you know, it's RNG at the end of the day. Same stuff applies to the Enraged turn, which he enters rage mode after 6 SAs. Okay. Over a mil damage on a super attack from Janemba. That's savage. Still has a 10% dodge chance as well with 68% damage reduction. I don't know. Janemba surely must be very difficult. Surely. Stage 7 against Broly. I've heard bad things about Broly, I can't lie. So you can't dodge Broly in the beginning, and you can't debuff his attack, which is probably a bit more crucial than debuffing his defense. Because at least if you lowered his attack, that SA damage, while it is very menacing to start off immediately against that, if he does super attack you and having a 17% chance to do so, at least you could take a little bit less damage and, you know, be a little bit safer building up. But still, that's quite scary to be taken up, like, going against immediately. I've seen a little bit, because I've seen clips on Broly. I haven't seen a lot, I've seen a little bit. I know he's like the most deadliest, but I also know he attacks everyone at some point. I'm not sure where he starts doing it, but he will attack everyone, which is kind of scary in some aspects. So when he goes to this one, 720k on a super, that's a big jump. That's a big jump. You can't dodge him, you can't debuff him, you can't seal, you can't stun. This stage is definitely where the easy A for Tech Super Saiyan God Goku is going to come up massive, because you're facing a pure Saiyan and a movie boss enemy, where he's going to have like damage reduction, I think it is, or guard, or guaranteed guard or something. I know he gets a bit extra, but I don't remember his full easy A details. But that God Goku is going to be huge here. He literally counters this entire movie edition of Red Zone. And specifically an extra little bit on top against Broly at the end, because he also has type advantage as well. So that easy A is going to be crucial. So that getting the gods, I mean, getting both LRs is very handy for both Red Zones. Just like how UI Goku and SSBE were very valuable for when the God event was originally released during the 6th anniversary. But yeah, no, getting the gods and easying that God Goku is going to make your time in movie edition Red Zone a bit easier. So once again, you can't do anything to debuff this Broly. 840k on a super attack. Yeah, AoEs. 848 damage on a super, and he will AoE your units. That means if he AoEs you, that means the unit that you don't want to be super attacked will get clappered with everyone else, which means run done. Run done if you're not careful. 66% damage reduction. Final phase, again, you can't do anything. You can't debuff, you can't seal, you can't stun. Again, this is where nullifiers are going to be handy as well. But yeah, that easy A for God Goku is a crucial unit to be running on the movie stage, or the movie edition of Red Zone anyway, but especially here. 1.2 million damage on a super. That means even some units that stack will not save you here unless you are getting extremely lucky when it comes to not picking up supers early here, and you can spend long enough on the earlier phases and getting all them additionals almost all the time on supers to make sure you're stacking up that defense a lot quicker. Because 1.2 million damage on a super means you need to have a lot, I mean a lot of defense. Not to mention as well, 20% chance to super attack. That's crazy. That means, I mean, again, 20% chance may not seem like a lot, but when you consider chances to super attack on all the rest of them. Broly, this is why Broly must be very scared. I mean, I don't doubt it. 70% damage reduction as well. Damn, no, that easy A for God Goku is crucial, and having the LR blues for this to go with God Goku, crucial. Especially to have that type advantage on the LR blues as well, or the LR gods, to do that extra damage. That's crazy. I mean, global players, I mean, again, 100% go check out this thread if you want to see the in-depth details for yourself. I mean, pin the tweet, retweet it, bookmark it, save all of them. I don't care what you do, screenshot everything, because you're going to need this kind of cheat sheet going into Red Zone. As you see there, Red Zone is the easiest, the hardest event in the game and the hardest hitting event, and we've got a little bit of a heads up, you know, a little bit of a cheat sheet. It's not even really a cheat sheet, but you know, we've got all the notes going into Red Zone, and even then, it's not going to save you if Dokkan doesn't want it to. So yeah, whatever you need to do, make sure you have this information on hand. Definitely go drop Luca a follow and go check this out, because this is very useful, and in a week's time, we're going to get the GT edition as well, which I'll go through. But yeah, man, global players, I hope you're ready for when the anniversary drops. I hope you're ready for Red Zone. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you next video, guys, and peace.